Hey YouTube fans, thanks for tuning in here again to JVP Connects. It's been a while since I made a video and I'm bringing you a good one today. Basically what I'm here to show you is the T-Mobile Revvl. It's a T-Mobile phone made by themselves. It's been a while since they've done this. The previous time I can remember is the MyTouches. I used to own the MyTouch, the regular one. They also came out with a MyTouch Slide where you had the slide out keyboard, physical keyboard. That was pretty cool. This is going to be one of approximately 3 phones that they're going to make. This is supposed to be the most budget one. It's just the first one they release. That's going to be branded and made by them. So only available with T-Mobile, $125. Let's get into it and let's see what we got. Okay. So packaging wise, very simple. Cardboard box. It looks nice. You have the magenta on the back. T-Mobile Revvl on the front. Not much else, very simple. On the back, it states that it's a 5.5 HD IPS display. By saying HD instead of FHD, which would be Full HD, that just means it's 720p. So for those people that are used to 1080 or anything like that, I get that. But for this size of screen, it shouldn't be that bad. You also get a 13 megapixel rear camera. As everybody knows, megapixels doesn't always mean better quality photo. So we'll just have to test it out. My daily driver is an LG V20, so I'll be able to compare this low budget phone photos with that higher flagship quality of the LG V20. It has a 3000 milliamp battery, which is pretty good. It should last you throughout the day. Something that's not seen on a lot of budget phones, you have the fingerprint sensor. You have a 5 megapixel wide angle front camera with flash, which is pretty nice. Flash, so you can get better pictures, and it's also wide angle, so you can fit more people into your selfies if you're doing a group selfie. Right? And it's also comes installed with Android Nougat, which is 7.0. Hopefully it will get updated. If it's not on 7.1, hopefully it will, which I think right now it is on 7.0. But these type of budget devices, they don't tend to get updated very often. But maybe T-Mobile will surprise us and actually come through. Just so you also know, it comes with 32 gigabytes of storage, which is very good for a budget phone. And it also has 2 gigabytes of RAM, which should be fine. What can I say? A lot of the phones have maybe 3 gigabytes. My GV20, I believe, is 3 gigabytes. So 2 gigabytes, that's pretty good. And the processor, it's actually a MediaTek processor, not a Snapdragon processor. But for the quality of the phone, hopefully it'll be snappy enough. Now, I had already previously opened up the phone, opened up the box to, mess around with the phone a little bit, get in some info. So that way when I turn it on, you guys can go straight to seeing what the phone is like. So we'll set that aside after opening it up. We got the nice magenta box. We have the phone. It will come with a film over it, but that film has some writing on it, so it's not a screen protector. You will have to buy a screen protector. The glass itself is, I don't know what type of glass it is, but I haven't seen anything saying it's Gorilla Glass, so I'd be very careful, and I would purchase a screen protector just in case, so that way it'll last you as long as possible. So let's lift this up. All right, take out the phone, put that to the side for a second. Now let's take a look at what's inside the box. So we have, like I said, I previously opened this up. We have the micro USB charging cable. Okay, so already we can see there that it is micro USB, not USB Type-C, but it is a budget phone, so that's to be expected, at least for now. Maybe in the future, more budget phones will come out with it. Cord is not too long, but these you can always buy another one if need be. You get your power brick, USB Type A, plug that in, charge up your phone. The phone doesn't appear to have any type of quick charge or anything like that, so I wouldn't expect to get 50% charge in 20 minutes and things like that. But 3000 milliamp battery, low spec phone, you should get through the day anyway. A SIM card comes in the box, and basically the booklet with a starting guide. Right? So let's set that stuff to the side and actually now get to the phone. Right? Push that out. It's a very nice looking phone. Has a gray across the border, across the edges. The back is a black but very shiny. It almost looks kind of like a navy blue. Right? The screen I said is 5.5 inches. You have the earpiece in the front. You have the 5 megapixel camera. This is what I believe to be the flash. The loudspeaker is actually in the front apparently instead of on the back or on the bottom, which is good placement. How good is the quality? I don't know. Once I get to doing a review, I'll let you know how good the quality actually is. But it actually is nice that it's actually a front-facing speaker, so that way the sound is actually directed towards you. It would be even better if it was actually stereo, as in the sound comes through the earpiece and the loudspeaker at the same time. But I'm not sure about that. It is a budget phone, so it's highly unlikely, but we'll see about that. So that's the front of the display. We have the top of the phone where we have our 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which is great. Some phones, as we know, are starting to eliminate that, but that's a useful port, so I don't know why they would. We have a microphone port or a noise cancellation port at the top. On the right hand side, we have the volume rocker, right, and also the power button. Now what's nice about it is the power button does have texture to it, so you can easily tell the difference between when you're touching the power button and when you're touching the volume rocker. That way you won't confuse the two since they're both on the same side. On the bottom here, we have the micro USB port for charging, and we have the microphone hole for when you're speaking. On the left hand side, it's nothing. It's nice and smooth. Very simplistic design. You know, it's a cell phone. You know, rectangle with a screen and some other additions to it. Go to the back, and here's your 13 megapixel camera and flash. We'll check that out. You have the fingerprint sensor, which I did set up, so we'll see how fast that actually works. Again, it's nice that it has it, and T-Mobile branding on the back. Now, the casing itself, you can remove the case because the phone does, as you can see on the edges, there was no way to access the SIM card slot, so that must mean it must be behind here. So there is no waterproofing on this phone. Whenever a phone has a removable back, it's almost basically 100% not going to be waterproof. So let's try to pull this off. It's being a pain in the butt to get off. It's gotta be careful not to break it. It is plastic. Okay, now we have the back off, and here we have the inside. As you can see, it says non-removable battery, and on the right hand side we have what I believe to be the SIM card slot, and on the left side, on our left side now looking at it, which would be actually the right side of the phone, we have a micro SD slot, so we can expand up to 128 gigabytes, expand on that 32 gigabytes that it already comes with, which is actually not that bad. So that's all you get in after you take off the case. So let's put that back. Like I said, this backing is very shiny, and it's a fingerprint magnet, so you're either going to need a case or have to have a microfiber cloth with you almost at all times. It does have the fingerprint sensor, so we're going to test it out. It's very easy to find because of the divot. It's nice and deep, and so that was me touching. It's not, you can't press the button. I'm actually used to my LG where it's also actually a clickable button. Here the sensor is just a sensor. Remember, the power button is on the side. So let's turn the phone off again. I'm going to touch it, and it comes on pretty quick. Again, touched it, comes on pretty quick. So the fingerprint sensor is actually pretty good for a budget. For even having a fingerprint sensor is pretty good, and it actually functioning relatively quickly is also good. Here you can also get a little glimpse of the display. It's not that sharp. Again, it is 720p, 5.5 inches. But I'll get more into that when I actually get into the phone and actually start reviewing it. Just messing around here, touching a few different things. It's pretty snappy. I don't think it feels as fast as my LG, but actually opening up. Okay, we got that. We're going to do the drop down menu, drop down again. So it's not that bad. For a budget phone, it seems snappy enough. right? So I'm gonna delve in more to the phone, see what quirks it has, how good it actually is for maybe a daily use. Use it for a few days, and I'll hit you guys up back with the camera, making sure everything's still working well. Is it still snappy, and if it has any additional features or anything like that, and how good is the phone for the price, and is it worth it? Right. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you later in the next one. See ya.